Welcome. So in this video, I want to talk about a question I get more than pretty much any other, which is, have you ever worked with my kind of business, my kind of niche, my offer before, along those kind of lines? So I think it's a really important question, and I'm going to talk about it from a couple of different angles. So to give you context, I've scaled multiple offers in multiple industries, niches across business to consumer, so helping people with their lifestyle and their relationships, and then business to business, helping people with wealth creation and business operations in some way. So because of this, I have a lot of experience in how to create success in a lot of different industries and a lot of different verticals. So allow me to show you what kind of journey I've had in the direction that I've kind of taken. So the first business I had was a business to consumer, which was in the addictions niche, selling addiction programs in the form of coaching. So I spent the first 10 months trying to work things out and absolutely made $0 in those 10 months. So I worked it out enough to then scale to $18,000 a month in the following 2 months. So I made $32K in 2 months, and that wrapped up year 1. And that was through a combination of $3,000 6-week programs and then a $6K upsell. And I actually had a 76% re-sign rate. So 76% of the clients, they came into my front end offer, bought the back end offer, and the industry standard, just so you know, if you're not aware, is 30%. And that was in my first year. So then in my second year, we come up to this business to business kind of fusion. And I was helping these people with their addictions become new coaches. And I worked it out enough to go to $322,000 in my second year of coaching. And that was where I did my first 100K month. So my third year, those clients then wanted to start scaling their business. And it was actually strangely easier to get to my first 100K month than it was to actually get to my first 18K month. Because those addictions clients, I don't want to say like they took all of my energy, but they did have to go through a lot of significant changes. There was a lot of mindset work, teach them how to get leads, get accountable with their business, how to get their stuff together well enough to help people change their lives. It's a big change. So how to generate sales and all of that happening consistently. So it is harder to get results the lower level you start with someone at. If you start at that lower level and you have a high, large promise that's far from their current reality. So there was a lot to cover. So the interesting thing is at this 18K a month, I was only having about $1,500 in overheads, like business costs. And it was really because I was still doing everything myself and I was sacrificing my time for money. So from that point, I had to work out, how do I bring this cost to deliver in terms of time and cost to acquire clients in time? How do I bring that down? And I really started automating things so I can get my time back. And that was a big mistake, which I may cover in a future video. This is why I started putting a team in place and a system in place to get the leads. I was having to generate every single lead myself. I had to get something that worked without me. So paid ads was my next step. And I needed higher booking rates. I needed to get setters on, and I needed them to really be booking a lot of calls. I needed more sales from my organic content, which is what I did, which made it really easy to get better results. So why am I spending time on this? When people ask me, have you gotten results for someone like me before? It's been so difficult. I've invested before. I have this unique audience, this unique offer. My business model is going for restructuring. It's unique. I have all these things I need to do before I start, making really a lot of progress. I can assure you that because I've had experience over here in this really challenging B2C niche, and then at this fusion of B2C, B2B kind of convoluted zone, even getting success there, and then B2B as well, it means I've done it across the board. So at all these levels, which means my experience matches the results that you're looking for. So it'll be very simple to help you. Because I've served in some of these harder industries, not only to get clients myself, but to help others get clients as well. So those are more difficult in terms of B2C, more difficult to get clients there than B2B, relatively easy over here. So it's easier to help someone scale than it is to launch. Okay, it's easier to get someone to scale than from addictions to then scaling. They usually have all this foundational knowledge and these systems in place already to even get to the point where they're ready to scale. So there's just more work involved to move someone across this kind of journey. Not only have I had experience in a B2C business, but also helping B2C businesses, and now I'm helping also B2B businesses. So when you're looking for the right person or someone to work with, you want someone who has this reliable track record, getting results at the level that you're at and the level that you really want to consistently. Because then you really know that their service, their consulting for you is going to be relevant and it's going to come from a large variety of experiences, different challenges, different price points, everything in between. And working with someone that has overcome all of these obstacles, not just for themselves, but also for others. That means you can progress faster with less friction and sometimes very costly mistakes. So ultimately, working with someone that has relevant experience is the difference between working with someone to get a brain tumor removed that is a medical student as opposed to a brain surgeon. One is just like, quite new and maybe isn't going to give advice or do things that are going to have as high a probability of getting success. And the other one is just trained and specializes in the specific issues that you really want resolved. So the last benefit, which is worth mentioning, mentioning here is that B2C markets respond very differently. They buy because of very different reasons than B2B clients. B2B clients, they just need to know at a high level how this will help them make more money, which justifies the price, and that they trust you. B2B selling is just selling money at a discount. B2C clients, you need much more of a relationship built. They need to feel like you understand them. They aren't necessarily getting money back for the money they spend. So the value to price motivation has to come from somewhere else. So the approach will be totally different. And many coaches and agencies, they're going to try to convince you and tell you, it's all the same, but it just isn't realistic and it doesn't measure up when you try and actually put it to practice. So a core reason I hear people work with us and my company is because we have a vast and deep experience across multiple levels, how to grow business in multiple different industries. So I hope I've broken it down well enough for you in this training. Enjoy the rest of the videos and let us know what you thought of them. I'll see you in the next one.